Palworld, everyone's favorite Pokemon light game where the Pokemon, instead of using special abilities to fight each other, they use hand grenades, handguns, and rocket launchers. And the last that we heard about Palworld is they were being sued by Nintendo because they said, hey, that looks way too much like Pokemon. Some of it justifiable, but at the same time, I was not for it. But we got a major update for the Palworld lawsuit. And while we go over it, I'm going to put some B-roll over it. That way you don't have to look at my dumb face while I yap. And, well, let's figure out what the hell is going on. Regarding the lawsuit, changes to the Palworld and the future, we would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans. Over the past few months, we apologize for not being able to share as much information as we'd like. But trust, our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is going on. Yes, lawsuits be crazy. Currently, we are involved in a prolonged legal process regarding the alleged patent infringement. That is, taking a ball, throwing it at a creature, and then having a chance to capture that creature. I believe that is the actual, copyright infringement that they're being accused of. However, we had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to the development and the distribution of Palworld. Okay, on November 30th, 2024, we released patch B0311 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing pal spheres and instead changed it to a static summon next to the player. So instead of, saying, yo, Pikachu, I choose you, you're like Naruto using a summoning seal and boom, bringing out your Gamabuta. As many speculated, these changes were indeed, so they were a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed by the adjustment had to be made, but we unfortunately understood that many players feel the same frustration. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to even greater deterioration of gameplay experience for players, it was determined that this change was necessary. So it's like, okay, we'll compromise on this one thing so we don't have to compromise the rest. That makes sense. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that with the implement of patch 0.5.5, we must make yet another change. What else is getting yeeted out of the game? From this patch onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with pals. Well, now you're gonna get sued by freaking Nintendo for Zelda, for gliding on a glider. Pals in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to gliding, but players will now need to have a glider in their inventory in order to glide. Well, that's terrible. One of the best things about Palworld was finding like a flying type creature and being able to ride it. Like, imagine you had like a Pidgeotto, you level that thing all the way up, it's huge, you can ride it now, and instead of being able to ride the creature that you captured, trained, and summoned, you got to use like a blanket with some sticks. We understand that this feature will be disappointing for many, just as it is for us, but we hope our fans understand that these changes are necessary in order to prevent future disruptions to the development of Palworld. We also want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and the concern of this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content for our fans. On behalf of everyone here at Pocket Pal and Team World, thank you again for your continued support. And now let's see what some of these comments have to say. This whole process y'all have yet have to admit to do anything wrong. This whole process y'all have yet to admit you have done anything wrong. We know for a fact that y'all are not innocent here in this situation. Nintendo God. I wonder if they're a Nintendo fan. As they keep gobbling that Nintendo cock for free, Nintendo God. But like, what Palworld did not do anything wrong to my understanding. Was some of the components in the game similar to Pokemon? Yes. But that's like, to me, saying that Call of Duty and Battlefield, they're the same game, because they're both first-person shooter game that use real guns and semi-real to real locations. But we don't see any lawsuits happening this way. This is the issue with Nintendo. Nintendo could be such a beloved company by the community, but instead the community kind of looks at them with like two different eyes. On one eye, you're giving us Super Mario. You gave us Pokemon. You've given us a lot of cool IPs that have really stood the test of time. But at the same time, if anybody wants to go and talk about these cool IPs or even do like a tournament, like imagine playing Super Smash Bros with the bros, you get to all the neighborhood together and you try to host like a legitimate tournament, Nintendo's going to come and ask you to cease and desist because they don't want you using their IP to promote a community tournament. And it's like, man, you guys could have your cake and eat it too, but instead you're just putting up the cake on display and telling all the fat people drooling over this cake that they can't touch it. They can't have it. Just don't understand. But apparently neither does Rock Sasuke Thurker. This must be a bowling fan or a cricket fan. I don't understand how this is the only Palworld thing. I can play Arc and Glide with a dino across the map. No way this is patented, right? This is another issue where it's like, man, being able to ride your creatures isn't even unique to Pokemon or even to Palworld. We got this in Arc Raiders. I'm sure that there's other games that you could do this with. The Shock Cable TV. Dude, tell them fuck no as an answer. Just do what you want. It's your service. How would they take the game down? Stand up for your game. No companies, and don't change the product. It's yours. F them and die on that hill if you have to. Well, that's the issue. If they did do that, they would die on that hill. Because it's not that easy just to say, hey, Nintendo, you know what? We're not going to make any changes. We actually kind of like the game the way that it is. The reason why they can't do that is they're getting sued. And normally when you get sued and you get served some papers, you don't look at the papers and say, I'd rather not. You kind of have to deal with that. And yes, you could fight for your product all you want. You could try to, bring as much evidence as you can to go up against these infringement claims. But ultimately, you're going up against Nintendo money. And though Palworld was very successful and made a good amount of money, good amount of chook change, we'll say enough to compete with the IP of Pokemon. Well, Nintendo can throw the money that they've made from Pokemon, from Mario, from Super Smash Bros., from all the other Nintendo games. They got a way bigger pockets, and they can draw this thing out way longer than Palworld can. And honestly, I think that's Nintendo's game here. I don't think Nintendo really cares too much about Palworld, or if it makes any changes. I just think they see them as a threat, and they're trying to bleed that threat dry of all of their cash, of all of it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this lawsuit is valid? Do you think it's justified? Obviously, you guys can tell that I don't really think it is, but I would love to know your comments down below. But with that said, please like the video, subscribe, share with your friends, and as always, challenge you guys. Make somebody laugh today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.